Greetings Rummies and welcome to Rum Rum, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to the second race of this ninth season of the Evolution Racing Academy in Barcelona at night. Last week you only heard my voice. This week, luckily, well, no, you didn't only hear my voice. After a while, after they had crashed, a couple of the pilots were nice enough to come in here. Tonight, from the beginning, you will be hearing also the voice of the man with the voice of 1,000 angels. Cody, how are you?
Hello. That nickname really did stick, didn't it?
Well, it's a great nickname. There's worse nicknames to have, you know.
There's worse nicknames to have. I gotta live up to it. But it's great to be here. Excited. We are racing at night. Have we commentated a race together at night before? This might be the first.
Wasn't the last Barcelona race of the Evolution Racing Academy also at night?
I might not have been at that one, but probably.
That could be. I don't remember right off the top of my head.
But yeah, so
I think it wasn't because it was wasn't it the one that we dedicated to the one member of the Evolution Racing Academy that had died shortly before? Maybe. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we are running here in Spain. We're at Barcelona, and I am really excited. You know, Serta, you said you'd rather be doing other things in Barcelona at night. I'd rather be doing this. Let's go racing.
Well, you know, have you been to Barcelona?
I've not. It's on my list, though.
So it's, in my opinion, one of the most exciting cities in Europe. Like, if you're in Europe and you're not visiting Barcelona, you're missing something. Because there's a lot going on in that city. First of all, if you're a lover of arts, of course, you have the architecture of Gaudi, but you have the Picasso Museum, you have the Miró Museum, you have so many things to see and watch. You can you can spend at least 1 to 2 weeks visiting and watching things. About I think it's an hour or two away, it's the Dalí house in Figueras. So there's a lot of things you can do in and around Barcelona, and of course the city has got a great pulse. In any case, we're not watching the city, we are watching the drivers of the Evolution Racing Academy in Barcelona. A question to the people in the chat: how's the sound? In the chat, in the broadcast.
Yeah, yeah, in the chat. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chatto. How are we doing? Awesome. CJW Racing says, "Hi all, Seawall in gold here. Have a good stream." Well, thank you.
You too,
and
mate.
We'll be watching you.
Well, no, we won't. So this is not the...
Oh, yeah, in gold. You're right.
Exactly. Yeah,
let's go over that for those unfamiliar. So we are split in 2 during the race, but actually ERA is split in 4, I believe it is.
Correct.
And so the top 2 splits are in this race as 2 classes, and you see them different.
No. The 3 lower splits. The top split is in server 1, which is being broadcast by somebody else. And we are showing the 3 lower splits because we had a conversation with the ERA, and they said, you know what, viewing the times that the other drivers, the drivers in gold, do, viewing those times, it's clear that it's gonna be more watching people hot lapping. And if you want to see racing, if you want to see battles, you should go on server 2 with the other 3 tiers. which is true. Spa last week saw Mr. Jardine, who is in the lowest tier, finish, I think it was 4th overall. So...
Well, there you go. Okay. So I've learned something. I was not in that conversation, actually, and I'm just kind of hopping into this, to be honest with you.
You were in that conversation because it was in the ERA chat, and you're part of the ERA chat. But
I was part of the chat, but you
missed that conversation.
I did miss that conversation. Anywho, so you see 3 colors in this broadcast stack. So those are your 3 classes that you're seeing. And so you've got 3 races basically going on all at once on the same track. All of these drivers, of course, there's an overall winner of the race. There always is. But within each class, these drivers will be vying for position. And you can see right now here in qualifying, we've got RJ Arnold in the Ferrari 296 GT3, who seems to be a little bit above his, punching above his weight class, almost literally. And so that will be definitely a driver to watch for the overall.
Yeah, and the special thing, if you've never driven at night, the track is different, especially because you don't see that much of the track. You only see as far as your lights go, and we are not here in normal driving. They cannot just put the strongest lights and all that, but you only see a part of it, so the rest you have to know the track quite well to be able to drive on it. We are showing you about what the drivers see, and you see it's not the track that you see on daylight. It's different, and it's a different way of driving, also because the temperatures are lower.
Yeah, so that results in a little bit less grip. Drivers have to be a little bit more careful. And of course you have to be careful because it's at night, it's dark. And so we will definitely... It's a challenge for the drivers, and it's also a challenge for the commentators. We will definitely be looking out at our broadcast tools available to us to fill you guys in on battles, who's doing those battles as we drive around. I will be taking a look at the overall map with the numbers on it. So as we go through, I will keep you guys updated on who's who, because whenever it's just a bunch of headlights racing at night, it can be a little bit tricky for these drivers and for these commentators as well. So,
and it's a pity that because it's at night, you won't be able to see the liveries as well as you did in Spa, because they have quite nice liveries.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of custom liveries in this championship. People really go at it, really take it seriously, and that results in not only some pretty cars, but some great racing as well. Because, and I can say, as a livery designer myself, that you feel a bit more proud, a bit more, dedicated whenever you've got your own custom livery for your team. It's nice.
Absolutely. And by the way, we are watching qualifying of the lower tier. Qualifying is separated through different tiers, so that all race on their own level, so to speak.
Yeah, and Mr. Wall, who talked to us in chat here just a moment ago, he is in this race. If you look on your timing screen, he's currently 24th.
So then the highest is platinum?
I think so, yeah. Platinum, gold, silver, bronze.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. So let's go to Mr. Wall, who is already on track on a Bentley.
Yeah, so this is the outlap for these gold drivers. So none of them, I believe, have set a time yet. Yeah, so they've all been waiting for the lower classes to finish up their times, and then now these guys will come out and have some not fully clear, but clearer track to qualify on. That way it's not so busy, because we've got a lot of cars here. This is a pretty full grid, 26 cars here at Barcelona.
By the way, where's Ike?
That's a good question.
Our own Ike should be here, and he isn't.
Here driving, not here commentating.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a great question. I will go on a fact-finding mission and see if I can figure that out.
And we know he is alive and well because we spoke to him a couple of hours ago. So at least he was alive and well in 2 hours ago or something like that.
So, as the resident German Spaniard, would you like to take us through Barcelona? Although it sounds like you have an update for us.
Yeah, the pump has died in his PC. The GPU was at 90 degrees Celsius, delivering only 14 FPS. So his graphic card just was getting too hot and not being able to work. Assetto Corsa Competizione being a very, very graphic intensive simulation, you need a working graphics card. So, oh well.
Oops.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to suffer that. Dennis, what do you mean? You've been replaced for Split 1? No, we're on Split 2, aren't we? We are. Dennis is the commentator for the Platinum level, and he's having some issues with his voice. Get well soon, do what the doctor tells you, and drink some tea, relax, put your feet high, and watch this fantastic race that's gonna be starting soon. So you wanted me to show a little bit how the track is, or what was your question again?
Yeah, let's take the audience through it, because I find Barcelona to be a pretty iconic track, but perhaps there's some unfamiliar. So as these drivers are going through quali, maybe we could go turn by turn. I think the number 4 is about to start a new lap.
Number 4, if I find him. Chris. Okay. So let's go to his bumper. Yeah, he is going to start soon on the start and end straight. He's right now.
And this one's a very, very long start and end straight.
Yeah.
These guys get up to really, really high speeds.
And you brake about here and take this, let's call it a long chicane, although it's not a chicane. Then you have a long right.
This one's all about managing grip.
Yeah, and therefore also managing the throttle pedal. You brake about the Repsol sign. Here you brake about here, turn right, go as fast as you can on the throttle because you have a very, very small window of opportunity. And here you go hard on the brakes the moment the curb starts on the right, and you have this chicane. And here you play a little bit with throttle and brake pedal. This is the longest straight that you're gonna find before the start and end straight, and this is a very difficult braking point because you have gone very
Lowest part on the
fast.
track.
Yeah, and this is a very complicated chicane because on this corner you have to play a little bit with the throttle and brake again. This is the quite infamous chicane, which I don't like very much. Motorcycles go just on a big long turn, and we're back at the start and end straight. It is a quite short, especially compared to Spa, quite short track. It's mostly technical, I would say. It's got high-speed corners and of course the start and end straight, but it's mostly one where you play a lot with the throttle.
Yeah, I think that this was a. It feels like, for me, this is a very wide track, so it can be a forgiving track. Yeah. But it's deceptively tricky because it is a technical circuit, but it's a wide but technical circuit. I would say that, you know, there are certainly tracks that are, you know, have less room for error, but because this circuit has so many like flowing corners that just like go 180 degrees and then lead into a straight, it becomes very, very important to manage throttle through corners and to have grip. I think this is one of the tracks that's harder on tires for that reason. But it is really fun because it's a good combination. I think this one's not a circuit that's like Monza or Le Mans, where it's just, you know, crank the downforce all the way down and just top speed all the way through. And it's not, you know, one of the many technical circuits. I think it strikes a really good balance for me of technical circuits and also like just fast. It's a very fast circuit.
Although I would say there are not many places here where you can overtake.
See, I don't know. I would say that these drivers are going to prove you wrong.
Okay.
Over the course of this race, because that's the thing with this track, is that the straights are the place to overtake, and it's all about maximizing that straight line speed. But the way that you have to do that is by nailing those corners. Also, qualifying has ended. You see some drivers going across the finish line here, and then slowing down right after. Now we have, let's see, gold out now, silver finish your lap, it says. I don't think that that's new.
Nope.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a little bit of a period where we're gonna set the bowling pins back up again, and then we're going to warm up and go racing.
Yeah, race is about to start.
So, with these drivers, you've got Chris Wall, who we've mentioned a couple of times before, was in the chat before taking to the track, and he has qualified on pole with a 1 minute 44.840, and that is a really good time. Your second best was about 3/10 off of that, and that is Mr. Richard Oakes driving the Porsche 992 GT3R.
Okay. No. I'll go back. right, we're about to start the race. Oops, wrong window. No. Here we go. Drivers all putting themselves. Where is... Mr. Jardine is on... 12, and he's got... What? 10-second penalty already? Mr. Shepard has a 5-second penalty? What for?
Oh, that's interesting.
Cedric a 5-second penalty? What's going on here? Why do they have a penalty at all? Mr. Young also 10-second penalty? Let me
15. It's being added on. Let's see. Yeah, so I guess we're seeing penalties assigned here ahead of the race. I'm curious. Maybe we'll find some updates on that and bring them to you guys. I'll look in the driver Discord and see if there's anything.
Yeah, so we have Oaks, Young, Hagen, Jardine, Shepard, Cedric, and Gies. Oh, Gies even has a drive-through. Eh?
20 seconds.
Maybe from the Spa race?
Success penalties. Aha.
Okay.
From the last race.
Okay, all right. Interesting. Okay. Success penalties. Okay, we are in the introductory lap. So it's 15 seconds for the winner, 10 seconds for the second, and 5 seconds for the third. And the drive-through? Was about to tell Ike to come commentate. Well, without a working computer, it's gonna be difficult. So I have a love-hate relationship with the track. Like it's not my favorite track at all. It's not my favorite to watch. It's not my favorite to drive. But it's not a bad track. It's just that, yeah, it's nice, but it's not a track that really moves me like, I don't know, Kyalami, Spa, or so. Or Bathurst, of course. So, I don't know. What's your relationship with this track, Cody?
I think this is the track that I learned GT1 machinery on.
GT1?
Because this track is...
Okay.
Yeah, this track is in GTR2. Mm-hmm. And whenever you're doing the... I think tutorials towards the beginning, like it's got a driver coaching tutorial thing.
It's so long
one of your
ago,
first
I don't remember.
races,
okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of your first races is in Barcelona, and so I have such memories of trying to not spin a Viper. Yeah. Going around these corners, and it's really where I learned throttle management and how to steer with the throttle and slip angle. Also, I think that race starts you off in that training mode. It starts you off in the rain, which is just cruel. If I'm remembering correctly, and it was a while ago now, but yeah, so I have memories of just absolutely bending it around the first big curve in sector 1 of the track over and over again in at first a Saleen S7R and then a Dodge Viper was what I think I finally got a hold of it in.
Yeah, but that was a great thing that GTR2 had that no other sim that I know has had since then. These okay, train situations in this track. So this is this curve, you have to train when to get on the brake, when to get on the throttle, blah blah blah. So it was great that small school that it had. Would love
absolutely.
to see it in other sims.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ideas that was way ahead of its time and awesome. But it looks like we are going to go racing. Green, green, green. Here we go.
And let's see how all the drivers maneuver that first corner. First corner is always a difficult thing.
Looks like they're managing it well so far.
Yeah, seems all went through it. Well, Chris Wall with a Bentley going far, far away from the others. Young. Yeah, that's where we see all the battles now. Rossi and Young are duking it out. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. You were saying these drivers are going to prove me wrong with overtaking and so on. Let's see when they settle a little bit where they mostly overtake. Now, of course, they are all over the place. And
yeah, 7, 8, 9 have had some movement here already. Seeing a lot of they're 3 wide into the braking zone here as we go through this really, really, really tight left-hander.
Main window is opening.
Yeah, many of the drivers taking it quite wide. So there's of course action all over the place.
Oh, speaking of action all over the place, down the field we have a big crash. Looks like 5 drivers involved, leaving a lot of bodywork out on the track. That's not how you want to start your race.
Let's see the replay. Oh yeah, oof. So a couple of drivers went into each other because one of them had to brake because of a driver in front of him. Eesh.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of it looked to me like a lot of Lamborghinis on the video, but looking on the timing screen, it's not really reflected with that. But a lot of drivers involved in that. 2 drivers went on ahead, and actually, I don't think that was. Yeah, I don't think they went in for the crash. I think they actually went in for serving their drive-throughs. That success ballast. As we've seen, a little crudely applied, but
no, the drive-through, Ike told us in chat, the drive-through was because of a multi-car collision in lap 1 of Spa. So that was
okay.
That was the only one that did not have anything to do with success, much to the contrary.
Okay, gotcha. Shows you what I know.
Well, I didn't know it either. I just read it from what Ike luckily told us.
The number 42 McLaren of Matthew East took a little bit of a off-roading trek. He's down in the bronze category, currently running in 23rd, and definitely got a lesson in what the runoff feels like here at Barcelona. But towards the front, yeah, we've got a little bit of movement. Mr. Young in the number 129 AMG Mercedes passed the number 888 McLaren of Aldo Rossi in gold for 4th place.
And by the way, Mr. Jardine, who started on 12th, is on 7th now. So, like, he's not contending for podium like he was in Spa, but he is doing quite a good impression. So I think Mr. Jardine will be a driver we will have to look for in all this season. He seems to be much better than the tier that where he is right now, but that will change for the next season, of course.
Another driver who's punching above their weight class, as we mentioned him before, RJ Arnold is a bronze driver who's currently stuck between a gold and a silver right now, and far ahead the other bronze drivers. He qualified very, very well. It sounds like we might have a move up in the future for Arnold if he's performing like this.
And in the chat in YouTube, they're discussing about water pumps for graphic cards. Hey, I have a water pump on my graphic card, because if not, it would be loud as heck. So, what do we have? Belish and Calgaro. At the beginning of the track, so to speak, and yeah, Belish ended up taking that position just shortly.
Some very fun team names here for some of these drivers. Dave Young is currently in fourth, and his team is written down as Logistical Nightmare Racing,
which is the team where Ike also drives regularly, and Logistical Nightmare Racing, where they are a South African team, by the way, and they were also at the Automobilista 2 Community Cup for the first time in the season at the end of last year, and they had a lot of fun driving Automobilista 2. So they are multi-sim.
Excellent. And then RJ Arnold, most likely a privateer entry. His team is called Hey Arnold.
Was a nice animation series, by the way.
Yeah.
We have a lot of small battles here and there. We have Tetley at 13th, trying to get to 12th. We have Calgaro trying to retake his place from Belish. We have Cedric at 17th, trying to get in front of Mr. Stanser. Parois against Awabde. Lot of stuff going on, so we have to be looking at the timing here to see which one could be a contender for the next overtaking action. And it's gonna be interesting. You were saying about the tires, Cody. It's gonna be interesting when the drivers go into pits, and how the tires are gonna be able to survive or not. How many times they're gonna go into pits. Whoa, Pattenden had an issue there. Whoops.
Coming down the order, he's stopped on the inside of the track there in sector 2.
Yeah. He went out all by himself. We can see in the replay. Oh, what a pity. I feel ya. It's exactly that corner that always gives me nightmares.
Yeah, that one does give some pain, for sure.
Oh, Mr. Awabde also outside of the track. Let's see the replay. I think he lost it all by himself. He went a little bit too hard on the, on the sausage curb.
Yeah, on my end, I went back a little far, so I'm just now seeing the incident with the number 6 Nissan. Oh, we've got another issue here with Dave Young.
We're
he's
seeing the
gone off.
replay. He just lost control of the rear all by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those concerns that you've definitely got to worry about on this track. Grip around these long sweeping corners, and it's a balance of you want to give it all the throttle, because odds are if you're in a sweeping corner, it's going to lead out onto a straight of some kind on this track, and you've got to really make sure that you don't give it too much beans, and do exactly that, where you just ended up sliding all over the place.
That's why I say.
Oh, we've got another one. Lamborghini. Steve Tetley sliding down in the Lamborghini Huracan Evo 2. He's in a real bad spot, trying to get
all
back
by
on
himself.
track. Yep.
All by himself in the corner. That gives me nightmares. Let me check. That would be the 10, 11 and 12 exactly. Coming from La Caixa to 11 and 12.
Yeah, he was off in a real bad spot. Took him ages to get that turned the right direction and back on pavement again. Just because of where he was, that's a real tough spot to be in. A lot of drivers coming around, and he had to wait for an opening. So he goes all the way down into 21st. That's rough. That was 10 positions down for Steve Tetley with that incident.
That hurts.
Yeah. Well, he'll have some time to make it back. We've got 48 minutes, 45 seconds of this race, which means we're not even 15 minutes in. We've already seen a good bit of action, a lot of single car incidents, a lot of drivers losing grip. That's one of those things racing at night. We mentioned the temperatures are lower. The track temperature is 22 degrees Celsius, which is on the colder side. Certainly far from a summer's day. And so some of these drivers are, I guess, adjusting better than others to these track conditions, and just racing at night does throw in some new elements into it. Luckily, though, we haven't seen too many cars colliding into each other outside of that massive incident with some of the bronze drivers on the first lap. But yeah, there's been not too much going on lately, other than those single car incidents.
Oh, I was gonna say Mr. Jardine has disappeared while he was in pit. No, has he DNF'd? Seems so. Oh.
Yeah,
Did he have an
only
issue?
24 drivers left.
So we have already 2 DNFs. Oh.
Oh, Hagen, number 3rd car spins, collides into, I think that was Jordan. We're looking at the number 417 car here. Oh man, that's a big incident. He goes down into 8th now, 9th, as these other drivers just go past him. Let's see, taking a look at that, it looks to me like
he lost control just by himself.
Yeah, so that was a he was going through turn 1, and that one's an S-bend. So you slow down from the straightaway, you kind of jerk the car right and then jerk the car left, and he jerked it a little too hard. Yep. And spun out and collided into the McLaren. I think that was Rossi at the 888 McLaren. So now third place Rossi has some front end damage that certainly was not deserved, but he's got to deal with now.
Hey, that's right.
And that puts Isaac Jordan, the other gold driver in the McLaren, right on his heels, and now there's a McLaren on McLaren fight going on.
And what you were saying, I think this track deceives you you think you can go faster than you think because it's so wide, and
Yep.
and the corners are the way they are, and then you find out, oh wait a moment, the track already has ended and my car still has momentum. What the heck do I do now? And what you were saying, you have to be very careful going on the throttle in some of these corners, because you tend to go, or no, I tend to go a little bit too soon on the throttle. On the other hand, I learned that I'm braking wrong this week in my training, so I have to learn to brake correctly.
Is it just me, or is Isaac Jordan racing without headlights?
So no, at least I see him also without headlights.
That's interesting. He's got running lights. But
Rossi in front of
not-
him had a moment.
Oh, not headlights. Yeah, Rossi is working very, very hard to run away from Jordan, the headlightless McLaren, and
And Elsa
Yeah, Rossi, I
overtook
think-
Arnold. Sorry to interrupt.
oh yeah, you're right. That was for 6th place. Elshag on a big tear. He's gained 4 positions since the
Oh!
start. Oh, speaking of Arnold, big crash involving Arnold and Russo, 2 Ferraris, both off currently.
What happened there? We're watching the replay. Oh,
Yeah, it looks
yeah.
like the number 7,
just bumped
78
into-
car, braked too late or did not anticipate let's see, the 41. Yeah, the 41. Oh no, I'm sorry, the 91 braking early. Oh, we've got another McLaren on McLaren
Yikes.
incident. Briefer one, Stancer
Okay.
and Cedric in the 8 and the 68 McLarens. Those are both McLarens in the same class, and they had a minor incident. Looks like they both came out of it facing the right direction, though. Which we can't say about that previous Ferrari incident. Those guys lost some serious positions as a result of that collision.
We're watching Calgaro, who is trying to get in front of Elshag.
Yeah, and Elshag himself is getting pretty near to Haugen as well. There's a little bit more space in between them, but definitely this battle here for 6th, 7th, and 8th is shaping up.
And what else do we have? Russo against Cedric.
Yeah, 0.4 seconds off now, about half a second apart. Calgaro is getting ever closer to Elshag. And it looks like he was looking for a move on the inside here on this real tight corner. Didn't quite get it. It does get very narrow there. Probably one of the more narrowest parts of the track, certainly in terms of racing line. Can go around the outside, but then you lose all your speed.
We're seeing some of the drivers go into pits, but I think that was for repairs. Yeah, 808. I think that was for repairs. And things are calming down. Not that many battles going on for now. Ooh, Tetley coming out of pits in the middle of a gaggle of cars. It's this gaggle that we're watching. A lot of different drivers here. Cedric, Arnold, Russo, Shepard, all quite near to each other. Come on, Russo, getting very near to Arnold. Cody, you okay?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, you're just watching the race.
Yeah, it's been a lot of cars following cars, but we haven't seen too many moves being made yet. It makes sense because we've got 40 minutes left to go, so a lot of these drivers are just settling in. But we will have pit stops to worry about, so the drivers, I'm sure, are going to start thinking about that here pretty soon. And we will have to start thinking about that as well. A lot of those time penalties have not been served, those success ballast penalties, if you will.
Yeah, I suppose they're gonna be served when they go into pit.
Most likely. So we will get to see that shake up the order quite a bit. Oaks has some success ballast coming to him. He's been sitting very comfortably in second place. Oh, we've got Cedric. Cedric had a moment.
Arnold.
Yeah, yeah, him and Arnold. They might have gotten into each other, but let's see.
No, Cedric went all by himself.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
By himself. Yeah.
I'm not
At
sure what
least
happened to Arnold.
that's
then.
what I'm seeing on the replay. Or we all are seeing it on the replay. And what else do we have? Shefford. Thing is, of course, also that the drivers in bronze are not that knowledgeable of racing and of this track, even less of this track at night. So, of course, you're gonna be seeing them not having a good strategy prepared normally.
Yeah, one of the interesting ones from qualifying was RJ Arnold had a really quick qualifying time. He started to settle back down a little bit. He's still dominating all the other bronze drivers, but he's starting to fall back behind some of those silvers and golds that he had qualified ahead of. Mir Cedric has come in with a very gold McLaren, very shiny McLaren. So that's our first probably regular pit stop, not a drive-through or damage repair. So it looks like the pit stop era has begun.
Okay,
which is a little
relatively
early.
soon, yeah. Exactly.
But his car does look like it picked up a bit of scratches and dings, so he might have come in a little early to get some repairs, so that he has a cleaner car for longer.
Scratches and dings, that's called racing.
Absolutely.
That's what I tell anybody that I scratch on the road. Hey, it's racing.
Yeah,
and they look at me strange. I don't know why.
I wonder why your insurance premiums are so high.
Yeah, true that.
What a mystery.
Yeah. I don't understand it either. I always tell the guys, well, it's au rouge. What do you want?
It was a racing incident.
Exactly. Why are you giving me a penalty? Let's see the replay. And Russo is getting near to Arnold, trying to find a hole. Arnold going for the inside line.
You'll be very proud of me. I bit my tongue and didn't say anything.
Why? Because of the overtake?
No. Moving on. Chris Wall and let's see, Richard Oakes. Yeah, Richard Oakes have had a very comfortable 1-2. They are. Chris is 9 seconds ahead of Oakes. Absolutely untouchable.
In a boat. He's driving the Bentley.
Yeah. And then Oakes in the Porsche, he is a still somewhat comfortable, though not quite as comfortable. 3 seconds ahead of Rossi, who has been also a fairly consistent third place. He moved up from his starting position of fourth not too long ago. Yeah, so that's your top 3, and they're not moving a whole lot. But down the order, we've had a little bit more interest, a little bit more interesting stuff going on. Had some battles, yeah, a lot of these drivers, I think, are really treating this like an endurance race, a 1 hour endurance race, as opposed to a 1 hour sprint race. It looks like. Although, Kolb and Gies, they've gotten into each other. Let's take a look at that. That's the Aston Martin. Got squirrely all on his own and took out the McLaren with him. Man. This has definitely been a race marked by McLarens in unfortunate situations.
Hey, that would be a great name for a band.
Yeah, or an Instagram page.
McLarens in unfortunate situations. Yeah, okay. I get that. So, Roos and Arnold are still duking it out. Gies and Awabde are not duking it out because Gies goes into pits. Oh, what happened to Russo? It was showing yellow. He lost control. Yeah, okay. Ooh, his car looks a little bit discombobulated. Hagen behind Knight.
Oh, we've got a big pit in. That's Mr. Oakes. He has come in, and that's the first time that he has left second place is for his pit stop. And I believe, yeah, he was serving a 5-second penalty. Well, not penalty, but 5-second success ballast added on to his pit time. So he'll be serving that with this pit stop here. And that means that Aldo Rossi has moved into second place.
For now. Yeah,
and Aldo, go ahead. Okay, you'll remember Aldo towards the beginning. I had a car spin out in front of him in turn 1 and collide with his front left fender and front end area. That hasn't seemed to slow him down that much. So that McLaren took a lick and kept on ticking, as we say around here. And so it's interesting to see that he can keep it going with that. It must not have affected his car all that much. Anyways, you were saying.
I don't remember anymore. I remember that Mr. Hagen has to see to it that he gains as many positions as he can, as he has a 10-second success penalty, or however we want to call it. Rossi in pits. So yeah, quite soon. They started at 37 minutes before the end of the race, and we have seen about a quarter or something like that of the drivers already in pits. So interesting.
I'd say maybe a sixth to a fifth. I think most of these drivers are still out running on their original tires and fuel. But yeah, definitely more and more. RJ Arnold comes in now. That was the leader in your bronze category, and so he has now lost that lead, perhaps only temporarily, but such is the nature of multi-class racing and of pit stops.
East has a stop and go penalty. 30 seconds. Eek. Those are normally for track limits, right?
Oftentimes it does end up being the case. So yeah, I think you're right for this one.
Arnold in pits. And at the moment, the only kind of battle that we have is Calgaro against Elsaug. Ah, Mr. Wall goes into pits. There we go. The boat on the dry dock. Yeah. Calgaro taking a little bit too much of the sausage directly after the chicane.
Again, I'm holding my tongue.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
It lives there. It lives there. Oh, big round of pit stops here. Chris Wall comes in, your leader. Bellas comes in. Stancer comes in. Perois comes in. Shepard comes in. Matthew East down in 19th comes in as well. We have a lot of drivers. This is the moment. Everyone is coming in right here at the halfway point for this 1 hour race here at Barcelona at night.
So Ike says drive-thrus given in race can only be track limits. Okay.
Aha. Okay. Well, now we know. You know, I was thinking that color scheme looked familiar. Ike, he said the Bentley's running the Speed 8 throwback livery, which is pretty cool to see.
Only I'm blind. Where's the Bentley? Where are you, boat? Ah, here. Let's get a little bit nearer. Too far away from the light.
Looks like most of the drivers have now come out of the pits. Lucas Gies took an off-roading adventure. He's had a couple of those now, I think.
Eesh. Don't do that, mate. Not a good idea.
I don't recommend it generally.
I say from experience. I know the off-road in the of this track quite well.
Well, after this pit stop rounds have gone around, three drivers of note have stayed out so far. That's Thomas Hagen, Lewis Knight, Federico Calgaro, and he's now come into the pits, but Perry Elshaug. So those drivers they're all gold drivers, battling for the win, but I think Chris Hall, who has now taken his pit stop, will regain his spot up at the top as these drivers come into to pit, which they will inevitably have to do.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hagen is using his first position now to eat up those 10 seconds as much as possible. Although he's got traffic in front of him, so maybe he won't be able to as much as he would like.
Yeah, and he's doing that on tires that have been racing for over 30 minutes at this point, along with those other drivers that I mentioned.
Yeah, some of the drivers are tire whisperers, and he goes into pits. I was just taking a look at him, taking our viewers with that, and
yep, and Knight and Co come in as well, but Calgaro stays out. Interestingly, he's gonna get some more laps in, and that will be, I think, the longest. Marood. Well, Lewis Knight's in now, but yeah, Marood and Calgaro are the only drivers that have not done their pit stops. Everyone else is on the same schedule, so we're back to where we were. Chris Wall in front, Aldo Rossi in that very, very sharp-looking McLaren. I love the look of those McLarens. And Richard Oakes in essentially 1, 2, and 3.
In the meantime, we're watching Stancer and Parois, or Parois, or I don't know how his name is pronounced. Stancer trying to keep 12th position, Parois trying to get 12th position. It's a Lamborghini against a McLaren. Okay. Interestingly enough, normally you don't take those big curbs, but at the chicane many of the pro drivers do, which surprised me the first time that I saw it, but it seems that it doesn't unbalance your car as much as I thought it would.
I would imagine it depends really on the suspension setup, but my conventional wisdom would imagine you would want a stiffer suspension for this track because it's not terribly bumpy generally, and you really gain a lot from the stiffer suspension around a fast corner, of which there's several on this circuit. So that is a very interesting observation. I wonder if they determined that the speed loss from it does not outweigh the benefit gained from the corner cut, if you will.
But it's a mother on your wheel. Calgaro and Moreau are both in pits.
Yep. And so Chris Wall and Aldo Rossi, and then now Richard Oakes are back officially in 1, 2, and 3.
And I'm keeping watching this battle for 12th because A, it's quite interesting, and B, it's the nearest battle that we have at the moment.
Yeah, this is Parois,
yeah,
and Stancer.
I had the same issue, not knowing how to pronounce it.
I gave up a long time ago trying to pronounce these names entirely correctly. They can send me a pronunciation guide. I will respect it.
And on the southern end straight, is going for
right
it
alongside
on the
each other.
inside. And
Inside's a good place to be.
Yeah.
But then the inside quickly turns to the outside.
Yeah, so...
But it looks like he makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He holds on to
He
it.
got it, yeah. Whew. But that's... Yeah, it's the classic place where to start your overtake, and then you try to use as much momentum on that, let's call it long chicane, as you can, but it can end badly if you don't look at all sides while you're overtaking. Right, and now that we have all pit stops done, we have Mr. Wall back at first, Mr. Rossi at second, and Mr. Oakes at third. Elshaug, after doing his, I think it was Elshaug, right? After doing his 10-second success penalty, is still at fifth. Was it Elshaug? Oh, Rossi has had an issue.
Uh-oh.
And it looks as if it was all by himself. Or? Oh.
Yeah, so McLaren missed the braking zone completely, and just barely avoided, I think that was Oakes in the Porsche.
No, it was Wall. It was Wall in the Bentley.
Oh, okay, it was Wall. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was second. He very briefly led the race for a split second.
Yeah.
Almost taking
because
out the leader.
Also because Wall saw him coming, in overspeed, and went to the side very cleverly. So that's the sign of a very good racer to see that. Or he was incredibly lucky and went at the right moment in what he thought at first it was the wrong direction.
I don't know. I know Wall. I've seen Wall race. I think that was the voice of experience kicking in, going, "Oh, he's really barreling down on me. I better steer clear of that."
Yeah.
But he did. He maintained the lead. Rossi dropped down into third place, lost one position, and Oaks now comes back. But man, Rossi was not too far from Wall at the time, but now he's 30 seconds back. So he's really got to have to work to fix that mistake.
And down the line, battling for 19th overall, Geese and Rescala.
If you were wondering, we're 22 laps in as we cross the 40-minute mark with 20 minutes to go.
And we're watching everything up and down. This is the most interesting battle for now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Lewis Knight is reeling in Elshaug for fifth. That's a consideration.
True.
But yeah, down here, the battle for 19th in the bronzes. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, battle for fifth in class is Gies and Rescala in the BMW. And they are right alongside each other.
Hey.
And is he going to get it done? It looks like it does. Looks like he does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
That was clean.
Nice. In the meantime, Mr. Knight has been cutting out the tenths of seconds against Mr. Elshaug.
But then similarly, Calgaro's doing the exact same thing tonight. He's been hovering around a second and a half back, but now getting real close to Knight as Knight's gotten closer to Elshaug. And just another update: Rescala took his spot back from Gies down for 19th. They were trading blows there for a moment. Not blows, but trading positions, certainly. No contact that I saw. But yeah, Knight getting real close to Elshaug. He's glued himself to the back of that McLaren. Coming down the straight, it's a good spot to be. He tucks the car out, maybe. We'll see. Yeah. He takes the position entirely on the straightaway. That Nissan V6 going to work on the straight. He gets it done.
Although we gotta say, to be fair, that Knight is on a higher tier. He's in the gold tier. So.
That's true, but once you're battling for fifth, I think you've got your sights set higher than just class. Yeah, Elshaug is just running away with the silver class cars. He's in 6th place overall, and your next silver car is in 11th. So yeah, definitely a big difference there.
And the battle has not ended. Elshaug is only 0.3 of a second away, so...
Yeah, and Calgaro is hovering back there, waiting for either of them to make a mistake. That Lamborghini, he's hanging back a little bit. I don't know if that's by choice or just how the pace is shaping out. But he's definitely, one way or the other, letting these two battle it out and allowing himself to just be available for an opportunity.
I think Parois had a moment there. We're watching the replay.
You know what? Parois sounds right.
Yeah. He lost control at my nightmare corner. And Arnold
Young
lost
also
position.
passed Arnold. Yeah, that's a gold driver versus a bronze driver, so I'm not too surprised. But Arnold is no ordinary bronze. He's a super bronze.
He went too hard on the brakes. Arnold went too hard on the brakes on that corner. On the what's this corner called? It's the La Caixa.
Well, we've been talking about all of this, and Knight's gotten a little bit of wiggle room on Elshaug. Wall is just, I mean, he's been running away with it, but he's in a class of his own right now. 28.2 seconds ahead of second place Oaks in the number 20 Porsche.
And you know who is not liking that? Ike, because that's his car.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like, I could be that. I could have been that one. Well, pump
Bentley
is
boys
a pump is a pump.
At it again. It's probably not the first time a Bentley's had to retire due to a water pump issue.
Yeah, true. Who was it at Le Mans this year? Yep.
Tetley had a big off. Lamborghini of Tetley.
Let's watch the replay. Oops.
Yeah, go back pretty far because he spun it real slowly on his own. It was like an accident happening in slow motion, but he ended up into the wall there. Not Chris Wall, but the actual barrier.
So no, the replay here doesn't go that far. Unlucky.
Oh, Tetley, he spins again.
Aye.
In a,
so that
not the same corner, but a similar corner, and it's a retirement back to the pits.
I suppose the second accident was because of something that was not right in the car anymore.
Possibly. But yeah, that was down in, I think he was running an 18th at the time. Oh, Rizkala, who we talked about his battle with Gies a moment ago. He had an off, caused a bit of a yellow. I don't know about cause, but let's take a look at it.
Gies let Rizkala pass. I think he would have need to do that, but hey.
Well, no, Gies was into the back of Rizkala. He did rear end him and spun him around.
Ah, okay, all right. I only saw Rizkala losing control, but it was because of that. So hey, great sportsmanship.
Tell you what, Elshaug has been within a second of Knight pretty consistently here. He's hoping to get up there, but the battle with Gies and Rizkala continues. Who would have thought that one of the hardest fought positions would be for 18th overall? Hey. But it has definitely come out that way.
If you don't go for a hole that exists, you're not a race driver, no matter which position it is. And Hagen gets in between these two, lapping them. And Gies uses the opportunity.
Yeah, they're right alongside each other. He makes the pass, maybe. Oh,
no.
Track position just didn't happen that way. Yeah, no, the BMW stays ahead of Gies in the McLaren.
It was clever. It was well used, the opportunity, but he could not make it stick.
Yeah, definitely a good use of the overspeed, but if you had gone down to the other side of the car, might have been able to make that pass, but just the way it took up, they'll have to find another opportunity, which may be coming up soon. Got a bit of a straight here into a real sharp braking zone. Let's see if it happens. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but he's definitely gaining some position. Oh, Maroud has an off. Ferrari 296 GT3 around the S-bins. I think that's, sector 1. Big
all by himself.
Sweeping corner. All by himself, unfortunately.
Ouch. That must have hurt. And Calgaro against Elshaug, and we're watching Gies against Rescala, and Gies has lost a lot of time. Because he was letting the lapping take place. Okay. And again, he's going at the same level, and now he gets it done. No, he doesn't. He goes too wide. Oh, man. Let's go to Calgaro against Elshaug. We don't have anything else.
I'll tell you what, the person winning the consistency thing is Calgaro behind Elshaug. He has been very consistently about 0.8, 0.7 seconds behind Elshaug with, unfortunately, no progress. I'm starting to think that he's not really aiming for that, although I say something and now it starts moving as they're going through traffic here, trying to make their way around some lapped down traffic. He's gone to half a second back. I think he had the opportunity to catch up, and I think he just didn't. I think he's hanging behind Elshaug. He has found a driver who's not in his class, but that he can hang on to the back of and draft off of, and maybe here in these last 8 minutes, he'll start trying to make some moves. But we'll see.
Wait, what? We only have 8 minutes to go? Man,
I know.
Time flies like a banana.
Sometimes we wish it flew like a boomerang, but it does fly like bananas. Tell you what, here's a driver we have not talked about at all. Patrick Belez, another gold driver driving a BMW, similar to Thomas Hagen, but this guy is running in 8th currently, and he's getting closer to Calgaro. He is now the Calgaro gap of 0.7, 0.8 seconds back behind now Calgaro.
What's interesting? Yeah, go ahead.
We're starting to see some movements around here. I think Calgaro is losing some speed now, and Belez is getting closer now to Calgaro. So it's no longer Elshaug and Calgaro, it's Belez and Calgaro.
And now Belez lost a little bit of time.
Yeah, interesting how that's shaping up.
I'm moving to Shepard against Cedric, as Shepard is only half a second away. This is for 13th position. Yeah,
but if Shepard wants a chance of catching up to Arnold for bronze first place, then he's got to make his way through 3 different drivers before he can get to him. That's Cedric, and then Perois, and then Stancer. McLaren, Lamborghini, McLaren. That's a tall order if he wants to be able to catch Arnold, who has just absolutely dominated the bronze class this race.
And Russo had a moment, I think, all by himself. Let's watch the replay. Yeah, he lost control on the chicane. Oh, I hate that chicane. I remember there was a very funny conversation between Weber and Vettel, where Vettel was saying, asking Weber, how do you take that chicane? And Weber was saying, well, like any other chicane. So it seems that Vettel doesn't like that chicane either.
Well, we are coming down to the last 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go so far of this race. Let's see if some big moves get made. I'll tell you what, Wall has been absolutely untouchable, dominant, to the point of it being a little boring for the lead this race. He is currently 34.5 seconds ahead of second place. That is called dominating a race. My goodness, the number 4 Lamborghini. I'm sorry, my goodness, the number 4 Bentley. How could I forget?
Really? Don't disrespect the boat, man. Don't disrespect the boat.
Yeah, the number 4 Bentley has been the car to beat this race, and no one has come close. We have a car off here in the last 5 minutes of the race. Rezkala in the BMW. Yeah, he had a big crash, and it looks like he is now off. Yeah, just all by himself, coming out of a corner, gunned it a little bit too hard, spun to the inside of the corner, and just really, really solidly hard hit to the barrier.
I'm just not going into replay because we're watching Parois and Stancer for 11th. That's a nice battle.
Yeah, 0.1 seconds away. He's real close to the number 8 Stancer here. Watch as this Lamborghini and this McLaren battle it out. The Italian car and the British car, battle of the manufacturers here in Spain. It's not even for a top 10, but it is in the gold class, the battle for second. Here as we come down to the wire.
And every point counts?
Every point counts. We've gotten 1 degree cooler over the course of this race. We're now 21 degrees Celsius. So as the night progresses, it's getting a little chillier. Not by much, but worth noting. But rather than talking about the weather, Parois, he is 0.7 seconds back, 0.8, 0.9. It looks like Stancer is, he's gained a bit of ground since we started taking a look at this this pairing. But let's see if he can get it back here on the straight. The braking zone is going to prove to be a very important one here. 2 minutes, 54 seconds, 53. These drivers are doing kind of 1 minute 48 now here as we've gone down. 1 minute 47s. A little bit slower than what we had before of 1 minute 45s. But that's to be expected as these drivers have been out on these tires for a little bit now.
And is going... Yeah, he's on the inside.
Oh, whoa! He goes way off. Stancer goes way off.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think all by himself, right?
Yeah, he did. Just sent it a little bit too hard. We were talking about this is a battle of grip around these corners, and it looks like Stancer ran out of grip on this corner. It might have been even that he got off into the marbles, and just from there, you're gone, you know?
See, that's better than me. I normally run out of skill.
But yeah, so that's the end of that one there. And I mentioned the lap times because that meant that it was probably going to be the next lap around will be the last one.
Shepard going very wide.
Opa, it's a bar mitzvah. Hey. Good to have a Nagila.
The window is now closed.
Well, there's a lot of words in German that come from Yiddish, so Yiddish has always been a part of German culture until that one came and messed it up.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whoa!
Well, not fair, but you know.
No, that wasn't all. Yeah.
Yeah, Rossi, third place. He's getting a little bit close to second place. Here as we're coming down to the last minute, he's 1 second away. Imagine you've raced for an hour, you've gotten so close, but it just seems to be a little bit untouchable. It'll be, we'll follow this to the end, but I don't know if he's gonna make it in time. But man, He worked so hard, got so close, and it looks like he's just barely going to run out of time. So it's going to come down to Oaks making a mistake in second place on if Rossi will be able to do that. But he is in the points. He's in third place. He's on the podium. That Rossi is in the 888 McLaren. Had a rocky start, getting bumped into at the beginning by a car that had gone off in turn 1, but he kept on ticking, and he's made his way to third place. And boom, that is time. So this will be the last lap. Wall is in sector 2, so he will come around, and we'll see how it goes. But it looks like Wall, if he can just run comfortably, he's got 40 seconds of gap, so I think he'll be pretty comfortable. If we're talking about
he could just
Wall's
go
probably...
out and push the car.
yeah, coast to the end, and he'd probably make it with a couple seconds left to spare. Rossi, though, 0.8 seconds back as they're coming down. This is the beginning of sector 2 here. And it doesn't look like he's going to get it done, but boy, he's probably hoping for a miracle.
And Wall finishes the race in first place.
Yeah, congratulations to Wall.
Yeah, fantastic driving.
Dominant this race. Started on pole, never really lost the lead, and finished strong. So awesome to see. Oaks and Rossi are not done racing yet. Oaks has been able to hold Rossi off so far, but it's going to come down to this last corner. I don't think he's going to have it.
Nope.
So it will be Oaks in the Porsche. The number 20 Porsche comes across the line. Rossi less than a second behind him in the 888 McLaren. Hagen in the BMW. We haven't talked about him enough, but he comes home with a respectable 4th place for his BMW. And then it's Knight across the line in the white Nissan GTR. If you saw the Gran Turismo movie, man, that's a familiar looking car.
And Hulk, the winner in silver. He just crossed the line.
Wide margin in silver.
And soon
and then also
we've
got Arnold coming across his final turn of this race. He crosses the line in 10th overall and winning the bronze class. That is a very, very impressive finish for a bronze driver. You should be impressed.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry, you should be proud, and we are all impressed.
Congratulations. Great driving. Big fun in Barcelona. Next week, by the way, Kyalami, which is a fantastic track, one of my favorite tracks. I love the flow of Kyalami. Any famous last words, Cody?
Well, I think that there was probably more passing than I think you thought, but there was probably less passing than I thought. So we kind of ended up in the middle there in terms of an exciting race. We had a lot of drivers who were close to each other and almost got to each other, especially there at the end with Oaks and Rossi. I think if this race were 2 or 3 laps longer, that would have been an intense battle, but it never did end up materializing. AKA Oaks was able to hold on to second place in his number 20 car. And congratulations especially to Wall. That was a very impressive, dominant performance. I see a move up in platinum in your future. But really, really good driving, everybody.
In any case, this has been Barcelona at Night. Next week, Kyalami. And until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other at the podium. Bye.
Bye.